Welcome, everyone. Welcome to the go-to platform where faith-driven entrepreneurs, thought leaders, and experts share their stories, wisdom, and expertise to inspire and impact others. This isn't just another interview series. This is a strategic platform designed to amplify the voices of high-level entrepreneurs, which especially includes kingdom entrepreneurs who are making a real difference in their industries. My goal is simple: to serve you, the expert, by giving you a stage to share your message, expand your reach, and create lasting value for others. Through authentic, in-depth conversations, we uncover the real journeys, challenges, and victories behind today's leading experts. Each interview isn't just content. It's a powerful asset that helps you to establish authority, increase visibility, and connect with the right people. So with that, let's dive into today's episode. Once again, welcome. Welcome, everyone. Welcome to another interview on my interview series, Voices of Kingdom Influencers. And today I have a very special guest. And so Shelly, she is a God-fearing woman from Houston, Texas, who overcame poverty and the challenges of being a single mother working multiple jobs. Through her faith in Jesus Christ, she found healing, purpose, and a renewed passion for life. Today, she is an entrepreneur. She is an author, an inspirational speaker, model, and inspiring actress. Her mission is to inspire others, especially women, to build confidence, pursue their dreams, and realize their God-given potential. And she is committed to making a positive impact by empowering lives through faith, hope, and perseverance. And our topic today is becoming the inspired entrepreneur through faith. So, Shelly, what I'd like to do is hand the microphone over to you. Let's start with you unpacking a little bit about your story. And let's go.
Well, awesome, y'all. I'm Shelly Castle. I'm from the H-Town. My story has been nothing but impeccable. It's definitely a journey. I started from the ground up by myself, doing it from the rock bottom. Didn't have anything. $700 started my LLC. I just been inspiring on social media. My company came along because of God. You know, I hit rock bottom, lost all three jobs during COVID, wanted to end my life, didn't want to be here no more. God gave me my God given talent and passion, and that's to inspire now and change lives and transform lives. I started my company, been inspiring on social media, got put into magazines. I've won multiple awards, been in multiple magazines, been on TV shows, radio stations, parades, you name it, doing whatever I got to do to make an impact and make it happen. My book came along, which is Spread the Word. I'm making it happen. Has my whole story. It's on Amazon in English and Spanish, and it's also on barnesandnoble.com in English and Spanish. I became an inspirational speaker, been invited to speak. I'm always willing to speak. And that's been my new passion now, is to inspire and transform lives through inspiration. I want to be an inspirational speaker. I want to get on those stages. I want to burn down some stages, burn down some buildings, burn down these nations, because we need more positive people. People need to hear positivity. People need to hear change, success. They need to hear a story, not about someone that just got all the way to the top, is rich, had a straight line up. My line has not been straight. It has not been straight all the way to the top, all the way to the riches. It's definitely a rocky roller coaster going all the way to the top. But I'm going to make it, and I'm winning, and I'm already winning. The World Cup is in Houston, and I'm trying to make it happen with this World Cup. I've been manifesting it, praying that God's going to bring in the business. Nothing good comes easy, because if it was easy, it wasn't good. Also, I got into modeling, acting, influencing, And just like I said, I want to showcase confidence, show girls that they can have that confidence to do whatever you set your mind out to. It
Mm.
don't have to be modeling necessarily, but you know, whatever you set your mind to, you can do it.
Absolutely, absolutely. So that is quite a story, quite a background, and you've definitely come leaps and bounds. I remember hearing some other details on our pre-interview call together. So let me start by asking this question: what does it mean to be an inspired entrepreneur rather than just an entrepreneur? What's the difference?
Because you can just be an entrepreneur, you could just be like everyone else. Someone put on LinkedIn, why fit in? And why would you want to fit in when you can stand out?
Mm,
Be an inspired entrepreneur, you have reason, you have purpose, you have motivation, you have that extra grit, resilience, determination to shine brighter and be the brightest that you can be in every room you walk into 2026 and beyond. That's what that inspiration is about. But it's not just about yourself, it's showcasing it to others so they can have that self confidence, that inspiration, that desire to change their lives
mm.
for the good.
So good, so powerful. Now, tell me, how did your relationship with Jesus change the trajectory of your life?
Definitely, you know, just like I said, Jesus gave me a second chance. I wouldn't even be here if it wasn't for him.
Mm,
I told God just I was through when I hit rock bottom, lost all three jobs during COVID. I was like, take me, just take me out. I'm done with this little world. Tired, I'm exhausted. Nobody loves me, nobody needs me. But my faith in Jesus made me dream bigger. He saved my life, He gave me my purpose. He showed me that He was not through with me yet. He's like, I call myself Miss Impeccable on social media. He's like, Shelly, I still got a lot more for you to do for me. And you got a lot of people to inspire. I didn't know I was going to be inspiring. But just like I said, I want to change lives and I want to get a storefront so I can give jobs, give back to the community, but I don't want to fit in. I want to stand out, and I want to have ADA accessible vehicles where no child is left behind and no adult is left behind, and they can't have that unforgettable experience with their friends, like going to a prom or a wedding or anything.
what would you say to the person that doesn't believe that they have the capabilities of becoming an entrepreneur? Maybe they're stuck in the situation of self doubt and overwhelm and all those things. What would you say to somebody like that?
Well, it's normal to have those feelings. I still had them. I had that self doubt, but I just got to say, different ones tell me, and just like I say, start, just do it, just start. There's no perfect time, just do it. You're gonna have moments that you doubt yourself. um, you know, just like they say, like for the first 7 years you're gonna want to quit, you're just gonna want to give up, call it quits, self-doubt yourself. But the ones that win are the ones that keep getting back up, just like Grant Cardone told me. You might fall or fail 7 times, but the ones that got up 8 times, you're a winner. You're winning. You kept going. You didn't give up. You're not a quitter. You're not a loser. And if you need someone to reach out to, feel free to reach out to me. We all need help. I don't mind helping someone, coaching someone, leading someone in the right direction, being there for you physically, mentally. But don't doubt yourself. Just do it. Don't
Mm,
make no excuse. Don't make no excuses. You're beautiful no matter what your past is. I had a disability, grew up. I had a very rough life, born really poor. My family's very poor. Been through a lot, but no matter what my circumstances, the only thing that's stopping me is money, and God's going to take care of that. He's going to put the right person, business partner, investor in my life. But until He does, I'm going to keep going. I'm not going to give up. I'm going to win. I'm already winning, and I'm going to keep shining my light brightly.
that is amazing. You know, and that's so true. In every circumstance, we actually have a choice. We can either choose to be a victim of that circumstance or we can choose a higher road. And that doesn't mean that the storm has gone away. The storm can still be raging around you, but you just have a choice to either fold up and curl up on the floor in the fetal position and become a victim of that circumstance, or you can rise up and take the higher road and make, that empowering decision. That is
Right. They said it's about change. That's the thing. Nothing can change for your life if you don't make the change. Yeah, we could stay cuddled up, all depressed, just bottled up and just wanting to end your life, or self doubt, or whatever the case may be, fears, peer pressure, people telling you you can't do it. I've heard that many times. And even in the beginning, even out throughout my story, it's like, Shelly, you can't do it. You're not going to do it. It's not possible. You're going to hear all that negativity, but you got to eliminate it. Grant Cardone said, cut it out. Keep your circle small, keep your circle tight. Put positivity in your life, put positivity in your circle, because you can. You just got to have that self care. I'm all about self care. We all have to have that. Don't just run yourself into the ground. Have whatever it takes, self care that you need, and make it happen.
absolutely, absolutely. Now, here's an interesting question for you. Has God ever asked you to take a step before you felt ready?
Yes, there's no perfect time. Just like I said, he told me to take the step when I did it in 2022,
Mm,
because there was really no other option. I didn't, just like I said, I didn't want to be here. I was at rock bottom, just at a bad place in my life. And he told me to take the step. I did it. Just starting is success. That's a huge accomplishment, because most people can't start and they can't jump into the unknown, the great unknown, where you don't have a life jacket, you don't have a paycheck, you don't have a boss, a BOSS. Most people can't do it, and they're not willing to do it. They can't deal with the struggle, the sacrifice that we got to put up to and deal with on a day-to-day basis. The journey is not going to be easy. You're going to have troubles, trials, and tribulations. So it's definitely going to be some thunderstorms, some big thunderstorms. But you'll overcome anything with faith and with Jesus. If you have Jesus in your heart and by your side and in you 24/7.
100%. James chapter 1, verse 3 talks about, count it all joy when you experience various trials in your life. Why? Because those trials are the very thing that's going to cause you to grow, cause you to grow in perseverance, cause you to grow in resilience, and all of that stuff. Those trials aren't there to stop you, they're there to cause you to grow. That's how God works.
Amen. And I always go by Philippians 4:13, and it's in my book. You can do all things through Christ who strengthens you. There's times, just like I said, we don't think we're strong enough, that we don't have what it takes. We're not going to make it. We're not going to succeed, but you got to get those negativity out, and you got to keep pushing. You got to keep going.
100%. What would you say to the person who feels too broken to pursue their dreams?
I mean, just like I said, I felt the same way. I felt too broken without, that I didn't have everything that I needed. I didn't know nothing about business, didn't have no business background whatsoever. But I just learned and grow and ran into the right connections, the right people, just networked like no other, and just was different like no other. So I just say, just do it. Don't make no excuses. I mean, everything can be an excuse, but just keep doing it, keep getting back up. And as
Mm.
long as you keep going and keep doing it, you're a winner, and you already won. You won the battle.
What are some of the darkest moments you faced during those times? And, I'm just kind of what I'm trying to do here is get into like a little bit more of the nitty gritty of that. Like, what are some of the darkest moments you faced? And how exactly did you get out of those dark moments? How did you pull your mindset up and align yourself with God and pull yourself up and actually put yourself in action? What were some of the steps you took through that to get yourself back up and, moving forward in the direction that God wanted you to be?
I would say, I mean, I've had some of my darkest moments even recently, but um, just praying, crying, telling God how you feel. Someone on LinkedIn, another connection, she said, tell him how you feel, no matter if it's hurtful or not. Tell them that you don't like them, that you don't like it, Lord. Don't like my situation. I hate it. You
Mm,
know, tell him how you feel. Tell him what you're feeling. Let it out. You have to let it out. You got to breathe. I've learned just different things from different entrepreneurs I met. Someone said just breathe in for like 3 seconds, out for 7 seconds, and do that like 4 or 5 times, raising your arms all the way up,
mhm,
because your chest rise and you breathe, and you just don't realize how much of a release that is, because it's meditation, it's breathing. Definitely walk, exercise. I walk in between rides. And just like I said, there's lots of moments that I cry. I'm like, Lord, I was like, I just can't do this. I can't do anymore. I've done everything I can. There's no more that I can do. I was like, Lord, just bring it in, make it rain. I was like, why me, Lord? It's like, why is the table stacked so greatly against me? Because it's really hard being a woman or anyone in this industry, in the transportation industry, all about safety. In the H town, the market is just so greatly stacked against me. And other things are stacked against me too. My mom, I mean, just she's the person that supports me the most, and she's dying. She's God's gonna be taking her soon, and I accepted that, but it's still hard, to lose a parent and to see a parent decline. So there's so much I'm battling personally, but I'm just sharing my story, my inspiration, my journey, how I just keep going. I can't give up. I don't have nothing else to live for except for Jesus and my passion. And that's it. He's my everything. He's the reason I'm living. He's the reason I'm inspiring. He's the reason I wake up every day. I mean, I started waking up thanking Lord just for the things that He gives you naturally. Just waking up, just breathing, um, just motivating, just changing lives, being able to see another day, um, just being able to inspire another day. And that's what I'm about.
do you have any daily practices that you have adopted into your journey, like gratitude practices, journaling, different things like that? What are some of the practicalities of your daily habits that keep you inspired, keep your mindset in the correct spot and aligned with God? What are some of those daily practices that you have
I would
adopted?
say, yeah, I would definitely say, what keeps me inspired, my daily habits would be, just getting up and praying every day and speaking on social media. Definitely how I write things down. I don't write it down in a journal. I write it down in social media. I put it out there. I release it. And that's what another entrepreneur says. Like Shelly releases it on social media. She tells her story, her struggles, her inspiration, everything good, the bad, the ugly, and the pretty, like my best friend told me. It's not just the good, bad, and ugly, but there's also the pretty. So it's just being funny. But um definitely just get up and pray every day, get up and inspire. I jump on social media thanking God for all the good that's in my life. Thank you, Lord, for putting a roof over my head, even though I can't afford my own place right now. Just being honest, just like I said, the struggle is real. Lost my apartment, don't have business, steady business coming in, but I'm going to get there. I'm going to win. God's going to put the right business partner, sponsor, investor in my life and help see what I'm worth. But definitely doing that, putting yourself out there, showing the world that there is inspiration, there is good people, there is
Mm,
winners, there is people that are not trying to fit in, that are trying to stand out, people that are not about themselves. I'm not selfless. I'm not um, about myself. I'm about others, not just myself. Yeah, you do have to think about yourself first before you can help anyone else, but I'm all about helping others. I just got the biggest heart, just the biggest giver, and I give in any way I can. And just doing those two things, praying, getting up, thanking God for what you do have, that you woke up every day,
mm.
and posting on social media, just letting it out, just releasing it, the good, the bad, the ugly, and the pretty, that helps. Definitely listening to Christian music every day. I start off the day listening to Christian
Yeah.
music, then I put on the party music. But today I just been listening to Christian music the whole time, because we're all going through a lot, and it's just been keeping me pumped up, and just doing that, and just sharing Jesus. I share Jesus with all my rides. I tell them, Jesus is the way. Jesus is my light. Jesus is what um, saved me and what started this whole thing of entrepreneurship and being a business owner and being a boss and not working the job and being just over broke for someone else, making them a brighter future. I wanted to be just over broke for myself, making myself a brighter future.
That
So
is so
that's
powerful.
me.
Yeah, that is so great. So
Yeah.
I kind of want to dive into real quickly here. What are some of the biggest risks you took that completely ended up changing your life? What are some of those?
Um, Well, the first one was jumping off the cliff into the great unknown without a life jacket into entrepreneurship, becoming a boss, and realizing that I was going to hit the ground and land flat. I would have died. But the only thing stopped me from dying, hitting the bottom, when I jumped off the cliff into the great unknown without that life jacket, free falling, was Jesus. Jesus, my face stopped me from dying, said, I'm not going to let you fall, Shelly. I got you, got your journey. I'm with you all the way. So that definitely was one of them.
Hmm.
And definitely becoming an author. I didn't know I was going to be an author. It's the most incredible. I think it's more personable and more exciting and just life changing than even entrepreneurship. Being an author for me, it was just like a moment that you will never forget. I was so excited. I jumped up and down when my book was live. Just knowing that you have a physical,
Hmm.
tangible object that's across the world that will be here even when I'm gone. Because we're all going to go. Death and dying is inevitable. We can't escape it, but we have to live our best life and do the best we can while we're here and have fun. We got to enjoy this journey and inspiration. But that was a moment that is life changing. I could never forget. And then definitely the first day that I got up on stage, that was amazing. Just getting up there, I was like, wow, I'm overcoming fears. You're conquering your fears. Because I was afraid of all this. I was afraid of going into the entrepreneurship. I mean, I had a major panic attack
Mm.
when I got my car, just the car note, just the stress of being a business owner, not knowing anything about business, and you're just learning as you go. But I did it. I did it no matter what. There was no excuse. The excuse of not knowing, that didn't stop me. I still did it. I said, I can learn, I can grow. And of course, you got to make mistakes, you got to learn. We all have to fail in order to learn and grow and start over and win. So, I mean, of course, I failed. Of course, I lost. There's things I failed and lost at, but I still keep going. So that's a winner. And you won't see me stop. Miss Impeccable. You won't see me stop. And but those were three life changing moments. Just getting up on stage, being in a video across the world, inspiring. And I want to be on many more stages as well.
So powerful. Wow. So here's just another interesting question here. What is the so you've been through a lot and you've
Yes,
conquered a lot. What's the cost of staying comfortable? See, you've gotten uncomfortable. In
right.
many situations. You didn't stay comfortable. So that's why I'm kind of like asking this. What is the cost of staying comfortable?
Well, the cost of staying comfortable is you didn't change. You're staying where you at. You're satisfied where you're at. Nothing's going to change for you. Nothing in your life is going to change. You're comfortable with your job, making $12 an hour or whatever you're making. The cost is, you're going to be working for a boss. You don't have change. You're content. You're happy. You get a steady paycheck. You can only go as far as the top position or the top pay, the top paycheck that your boss is going to give you, the top raise that you can get. There's only so much you can make. You can get so many raises, but then once it gets cut off, you're maxed out. But that's it. That boss, which is like me, is determining your paycheck. working for yourself, I changed. You have to be willing to accept change. And it was hard, and it's still hard. There's a lot of things I'm changing, and it's still hard. You got to change things every day. But it's much easier now because I accepted change for my life. I made the change. I'm still changing. There's a lot of stuff I still got to work on personally, because we always beat ourselves up. We're our worst critic.
Mm.
But I try not to. I just keep saying, Lord, of course I say, like, why am I deserving of this? But I know I'm not. I'm deserving of so much more. He has so much more for me.
Hmm.
And it's just, everybody says it's just a second, you're right there. The devil shows up and he's going to attack when you're right at a breakthrough. When you're going to get your breakthrough, going to get your big blessing, the devil's right there. He's in full force, ready to show up, ready to attack, ready to bring you down into his misery. Just like that old saying, misery loves company. So misery is going to try to get company to join him, but he's not getting this impeccable. I got Jesus. Jesus is going to kick them out. We're going to push those walls down, knock them down, and put a thumbtack on the devil to stay. Amen.
Hey man, wow. Look at you go. That was just such a that great answer. Great answer. Now, before we start wrapping up here, because we're already almost at the half hour mark here, and before we start wrapping up, you mentioned that you're a mom. So unpack that a little bit. How has that journey been being a mom in the midst of all of the storms you walk through and conquer and everything else? Let's unpack that a little bit. Give the listener or watcher just a little bit of a peek and insight on what that's been for you while going through the journey.
Well, definitely, it was definitely very rough working 80 to 120 hours a week my whole life before the journey. And of course, you're doing it the same thing afterwards, but you determine your schedule. And I did do 80 hours, whatever it took, in the beginning. And I still work very, very hard, like the hardest working entrepreneur you're going to find. But I did what I had to do to raise my son. I got him through college. And sometimes our kids are ungrateful, unappreciative. And I spoiled him. All my friends told me, it's like, Shelly, you spoiled him. I should have cut him off a long time ago. But I did what a mother's supposed to do and, or wants to do. I didn't want him to work and go through what I went through, struggling, going to college and working 2 jobs and providing a life for him, and never was there for him. I wanted him to have a life and be there for his family, have a career. So I worked and killed myself 80 to 120 hours a week, working 2, 3 jobs all of my life until this entrepreneurship, even when he was in college. And I started the company in January of 2022. He wasn't supportive of me the whole time, and he's still not. So it hurts. I had to let him go, just like Grant Cardone said. You got to even let family go, even the ones that love you the most, that are the closest to you, that you love the most, that we love the most. They will hurt you the deepest, and they will hurt you the most. And sometimes that's the way it is. A lot of times that's the way it is. Family, the ones we love the most, will hurt you the most. And that just turned out how it be. These kids, ungrateful, unappreciative. You met a girl, she treated me the same way, and they both were against me. They don't like that I became an entrepreneur. They don't like that I became an author. He told me that was the stupidest thing I could have ever did when I told him I was going to be an author and I'm getting a book. And he said, nobody's going to buy your stupid book. I said, you know what? Millions are going to buy my stupid book. People are still buying my book, and it's not stupid. It is the most inspiring book you ever read. Spread the word. I'm making it happen. Book of encouragement, grit, resilience, go-getterness. It'll give you that go-getter juice like no other to conquer anything, no matter what you're battling, what health conditions, mentally, physically, you can do it. Set your mind out to do it. Don't let nothing stop you. Just ask for help, and that's the hard thing for me. It was hard for me to ask for help, but I had to ask. I had to ask many times. I was like, can you help me? Can you help me? Different ones along my journey. And so many people have graciously helped me, but I give back to them. But just like I said, I got my son all the way through college, started the business in January of 2022. In April of 2023, almost had a stroke. He graduated in May of
Oh,
2023. He didn't care. I told him when he graduated in May of 2023, I said, kid, I'm cutting you off. I said, this is it. I did my job. You're 24 years old. You're a grown man. Get out there and work. And, get out there and work. I said, welcome to the real world. Bills are real. Life is real. And good luck. Make it happen. I He graduated from Sam Houston State University with his bachelor's in a major in education and a major in agriculture, a minor in education. And he's an ag teacher. He won't talk to me. He don't even tell me I love you. He don't tell me Happy Mother's Day. How are you doing? Do you need anything? Happy birthday, Merry Christmas, anything. He chooses to block me out. He loves his girl. His girl said that she don't need he don't need any other woman in his life. He just needs to love me. Um, that he don't need to love you, and that he's got me. That basically she's the only woman that he needs in his life. They're married. I wouldn't even know if they had any kids. They don't talk to me. They don't check in on me. Um, he's got her family. He told me on the day of his wedding that I wasn't invited, and he's got her family. He's got all the people that he needs to love him, that love him. He said he don't need me to be a part of his life. Me and my mom. My mom is dying. She's on hospice in a nursing home. So I'm dealing with that a lot. I'm battling. And it's just God keeping me together. It's like, Lord, let me just breathe. And, sometimes you just got to take a moment to breathe, pray, read some scripture, sing some Christian music. And that's what I do. And that's what helps keep me going is my faith in Jesus Christ. Me being a believer, a Christian owned business, a Christian woman of faith, a woman of faith. So that's what keeps me going. But just like I said, I did everything I could for him, worked my butt off so he didn't have to pay for anything, took out even parent loans. I owe all these loans back. I don't have no money or anything for my mom when she's going. They said they're probably just going to, donate her body. And because they asked about cremation, I said, I don't even have money for that. I have nothing. I'm at rock bottom, but I'm coming up with Jesus. Jesus got me. I'm not giving up. I'm not failing. I'm not losing. I'm not closing down the business and setting failure as an example and saying that I failed and I quit and I give up and I'm done. That's not in my vocabulary. Quitting is not in Miss
mm,
Impeccable's vocabulary, and losing is not in Miss Impeccable's vocabulary, and trying is not a word in my vocabulary. I don't try, winners do. So that's what I'm about.
wow. Resilience. That's the one word that comes
It's
to my mind as I hear that part of your story. Resilience. So very powerful. So, in closing and wrapping up here, because you've shared a lot of gold, you've shared a lot of gems, and you've even dove into probably some very sensitive hardships that you've been through, especially with your son. And so, the last question that I want to ask you here is what are 3 to 5 things that you like to leave the listener or watcher with today?
definitely never give up. That's one thing. Start. There's no perfect time to start. And if y'all come to the H Town, please think of us. I own Impeccable Rideshare LLC. It's a limousine and party bus company. Think safety, think of us. Get a safe ride, get a dependable ride, luxury, and so much more, because you can't get that with rideshare. There's sex trafficking. They're not dependable. You're going to get canceled on 10 times. And we can outbeat all of that. I just have so much more to offer. We got so many problems that we can solve that rideshare can't. Like, why show up separate? Why have to pay for parking? You can all ride together. You can get an impeccable experience. If you're a business owner, we have Wi-Fi, phone chargers, luxury vehicles, whatever you need. If you need something special in your car, we would put it in there. Just think of us, and you can not have to worry about traffic. You don't have to worry about construction. You don't have to worry about accidents. All this mess, let us handle the logistics and your transportation needs, and you won't be disappointed. Just spread the word and help me make it happen, just like the title of my book. That's all I'm asking. I want those ADA vehicles so I don't have to tell nobody no. I want my storefront. I want to be able to give people jobs, give back to different nonprofits and causes, and change this community in Houston.
Mm, so powerful. Awesome. And how can people connect with you if they want to work with you? How do they get in the world? Like maybe that, maybe they want to hire your services, how can people do that?
Well, they can check out my website, impeccablerideshare.com, limousine and party bus, impeccablerideshare.com, or you can call me at 832-269-3796, or shoot me a text and I'll reply back as soon as possible. If I can't answer, I'll text you. If it's not a textable number, I'll just keep trying to call back as soon as I pull over, and then I'm safe because I'm all about safety. And social media, you can find me on LinkedIn, Shelly Castle, and Impeccable Rideshare LLC. I'm on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, Twitter, YouTube, Snapchat, you name it, like 10 different platforms. You can find Impeccable Rideshare on there. And you can check out my great reviews on Google. I have over 250 reviews, and that'll tell you what I'm about.
Amazing, amazing. So you guys, the her bio and the links to get into her world and connect with her, hire, the services that she has to offer, all the things are going to be right down below in the description of this YouTube video. And so definitely go check that out, connect with her, get in her world, follow her and all the things. Lastly, you guys, so you might be wondering, well, then maybe this is your first time watching anything from me, or and you might be going, well, that's great for Shelly, but who's this Ken guy? Well, I've actually lost 62.5 pounds, and I've kept it off for 7+ years now, all without a diet and having that be sustainable. And so right now I'm actually giving away my 3 secrets to not only help you lose weight, feel energized, and get healthy without starving or dieting. Right now with me, through 3 one-on-one sessions, I expose the 3 biggest lies that are keeping people sick, stuck, and overweight, because that's how that industry makes money. And I show people how they can fuel their body God's way and finally break free and keep the weight off for life sustainably, like I've been able to do. The links to get into my world and to join that, it's my mini educational boot camp. It's an educational boot camp. It's not a workout plan. It's not an eating plan. It's an educational foundation. To join that, the links to do that are going to be below all of Shelly's stuff down below. You're going to find links to get to my Connect page. You'll find links in there to join my mini educational boot camp and all of that right down below all of Shelly's stuff there. So, Shelly, do you have any last minute thoughts that you'd like to leave anybody with before we close out this episode?
No, pretty much, I've also been in Damon John, his Entrepreneur of Impact 2026 contest. And that was an experience. If you know Damon John, he's the founder and CEO of FUBU. But the last minute words I would say is never give up and just keep going. Just do it, y'all. Just start. Make the change, be the change, and don't try to fit in. Stand out. And that's what I am.
Amazing. All right, you guys. So that is a wrap for today's episode. Have a great rest of your day or evening, depending on where you are in the world and what time of day you are listening. I will catch you on the next one.